Have you ever been in a situation where you open an important email and BAM! Your computer gets hacked? No? Well, that doesn't surprise me, as teenagers tend to use social media like Instagram and TikTok a lot more to communicate to one another rather than email. I mean, when was the last time you actually emailed someone that had nothing to do with work or school? Well, that doesn't mean that the same tricks that the older generation fell for on email doesn't happen to us on social media. Today, I will demonstrate the importance of protecting the teenager's privacy. First, you want to know why you should actually care about your privacy. Privacy on the internet basically boils down to making sure no one knows your sensitive information like your password, your emails, your name, when you were born, just very, personal information. Also, by maintaining your privacy, you keep your information away from big corporations. These corporations will take all your information and just sell it right away, which demonstrates them exploiting your information. In fact, companies prey on teenagers that don't know any better to give away all their information for free, which you shouldn't do. That information is very valuable, which is why you should take care of your privacy, especially if you're a teenager. So it's up to you to keep your information safe and to keep these pesky companies away from taking your valuable information. Teenagers that maintain their privacy will likely be more secure, safer, and know what they're doing on the internet, especially when it comes to coming across those scams and malicious malware that are out to get ya. A scam is defined by Reed as a form of fraud that is achieved through trickery that results in financial gain. You may be familiar with the more famous ones. You get an email one day and your uncle from a faraway country is promising you riches. However, all he needs is your social security number. Which, obviously don't fall for that. There is no uncle. And all they're trying to do is steal your social security number and put you in massive amounts of debt. However, online scams are a lot more common than what you think. Some online scams present themselves as a fun thing, that all you have to do is log into your favorite social media. And in this kind of scam, what they did is they asked for your information, their login information to whatever social media they were kind of advertising to. And they might have given what was promised, however, in turn, all they did was either steal your account or sell your information to a third party. And probably the biggest scam since communicating through computers was a thing is called phishing. Phishing is when the attacker pretends to be someone trustworthy and asks for sensitive information. The attacker usually pretends to be a friend, a parent, even a school administrator, or they can go as far as imitating police officers. However, you may be thinking, well, it's pretty obvious if it's not my friend. I mean, I have them added on everything. However, sometimes the person phishing you is your friend. In fact, a study shows that 1 in 4 kids have tried to log into another friend's account without their consent. So next time when someone's asking you for personal information, even if it's a friend, just know it's only a drawback for you, and it will never benefit you. All this shows that being educated on these common scams can help you maintain your privacy. Now let's talk about malware. Malware is an acronym for malicious software that performs malicious tasks. That's a lot of words. Basically, all malware is just, programs or softwares that are made to literally harm your device. Nothing else. Malware was made to slow down your devices, or some even destroy your devices. The type of malware that does destroy your devices is called a virus. Usually you only get viruses if you're downloading very suspicious files. Usually, you go on the internet and you see a free game and you're like, yes, this is what I need. However, once you click and download the file, suddenly your computer's frozen and you don't know what's happening. That is a key indicator that you're now infected with a virus. Another malware type is called a Trojan. This type of malware creates what is called a backdoor into your devices, which allow an attacker to access your device remotely. Basically, if an attacker manages to get a Trojan into your device, they can see everything that's on the device, they can download anything on your device, they can take anything from your device. The world is endless to them, really. They have full control. Typically, Trojans, however, are very easy to avoid. Usually you only find them in direct messages or emails where there's a suspicious link, you click it, and bam, now your device has a Trojan. Primarily, Trojans are only spread through direct messages or emails, so as long as you're making sure not to click crazy links inside those emails or direct messages, you should be fine. To wrap this video up, it is important for teenagers to learn and understand to maintain their privacy, and to keep their devices safe by being able to identify common scams and malicious malware. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to respond to any. Peace.